welcome to the 2021 SERL Truck Series. We are at Pocono this week, and we are getting ready to set to run. Double check our laps here. "60 laps tonight here at Pocono Raceway in Pocono Hills, Pennsylvania. I will be your broadcaster tonight, Justin White, and we'll go ahead and get some of our festivities out of the way. We'll play our national anthem as these guys finish up their practice and get ready to set their first qualifying laps and see who can take the pole tonight and lead the field to the green flag. Alright, nothing better than the national anthem in this greatest country in the world. As a reminder, the 2020, well, I know we're in 21, but the 2020 Summer Olympics are going on currently as we speak. But these guys have chosen to come out today and run some laps here at Pocono. But make sure you tune in and give the Olympics a watch, because that is something that is very rare to happen. Happens every 4 years, and we want to wish our fellow countrymen and women the best in their respective sports. But tonight we're back here qualifying at Pocono in the SERL Truck Series, and we'll see which one of these fellas can take the pole early and possibly lead the most laps and take it on to victory lane. There's a few guys here I have in mind that have a chance of taking this thing and putting it in victory lane, as Jonathan Cogswell starts his first qualifying lap of the evening. See if anybody else is out on track taking a lap. Looks like we've got Todd Mays taking a lap, but we'll go ahead and ride along with Jonathan Cogswell in his cockpit as he takes his first full lap. And let's see what kind of how he enters the tunnel turn here. There's a little bump here for the reason why they call it the tunnel turn in Pocono is that is where the underground tunnel is at for all of the trucks and other vehicles to pass underneath the track to get into the track, so they don't have to remove any of the safer barrier walls. So that's where they pass through, and as the track starts to wear, You get a little bit of a bump as they enter it. Let's see, Jonathan Cogswell sets the second fastest time. Dakota Camper has the fastest time. Let's go right on board with Dakota and his number 3 machine. Let's see how he takes the tunnel turn here. Oh, had a little bit of a connection issue. My apologies. As he enters, you can see about right there is where the tunnel is at. You can see where they kind of upset the truck just a little bit as he come across that turn. As he comes into that long sweeping turn 3. Each one of these turns here at Pocono is modeled after a different track. Dakota at the top of the board. With a 55.309, but Justin Michael turns around and puts him one position down as Justin Michael completes his first lap with a 55.160. That is 1.5 seconds faster than Dakota. This is also called the Tricky Triangle, as they call it. Like I said, all 3 turns are modeled after a different track. Turn 1 has 14 degrees of banking, modeled after Trenton Speedway. Trenton Speedway is in Trenton, New Jersey at the New Jersey State Fairgrounds. It closed in 1980, was opened in 1990, or 1900, but closed in 1980, so at least we're taking some history of the tracks around with us here, especially at Pocono. Turn 2 has 8 degrees of banking. Right here is also known as the tunnel turn, and it is modeled after Indianapolis Motor Speedway, which is a very prestigious and famous track. Then turn 3 has 6 degrees of banking, and it is modeled after the Milwaukee Mile. We all know the Milwaukee Mile is still currently in service. I do not believe NASCAR has ran there here since at least 2009, when they run in the Xfinity and the Truck Series there. But at least these guys will get a kind of an idea of what the Milwaukee Mile would be like. Just take turn 3. So we're on board now with Dylan Clark, whose second lap was a 56.379. He is currently P11 on the board. See if anybody else is setting some qualifying times here. Let's look at the 15 truck here of, trying to get the name correct here. I am checking on the name now, but we'll just go with, I know his last name is McCaney. He's in the 15 truck. Looks like it's a 15 Bobcat truck. 15 F-150 truck. Let's see what kind of time he can set down. See if he can take over that provisional pole from Justin Michael. As he comes out of that turn 3, Milwaukee Mile turn 3, let's see what his time will be as he crosses the start-finish line. James McCaney with a 56.018. I'll put him P9 on the board. Let's look at the 78 truck of Nathan Maurer. I know for a fact Mr. Maurer is a decent driver here at Pocono. He is extremely super fast. Loves this track. Actually When grown up, he actually lives close to the track. Excuse me. As he takes his number 78 Simbox machine and sets it on the 4th position. Looks like he'll be starting outside road, depending on if anybody else beats his time, beats the his time or another time above him. It's 15th car. See if he did any better. Nope, he is sitting P10 at the moment. Let's see if this 2 car, John McIntyre, says he starts to set his. Looks like he's already set a time. I don't know if he's going for that second lap or if he's just trying to run a few extra laps to get a little extra practice in. But currently, while we wait for this to kind of tidy up and guys get ready to strap back into their trucks, let's take a quick look at our points. I had them up earlier before we started. This is how our points look right now going into Pocono. Justin Michael sitting on top of the board with 370 points. Dakota Kemper not far behind him, 20 points behind him with 350 points. Blake Giglio, which I believe he missed last week, he's sitting on 3rd with 311. Dustin Matson with 300. And running out your top 5 is Dean Clavitt with 299. As you can see there in the 13th position says Nathan Maurer. And then right in behind him is Doug Anil. Those guys and Todd Mays, those 3 are in a tight battle to try to possibly sneak into the playoffs. Well, I think everybody has set, pretty much everybody set their qualifying time as they wanted to. Let's bring up our provisional pole sitter, the 87 of Justin Michael, and see what he's got to say about this track. Hey, Justin, this is Justin in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. How are you?
Pretty good, pretty good. Currently, you're sitting on top of the pole. Sitting on the pole position for this race. What you thinking? Are you thinking it's going to be a long, kind of like a long run track, where you got to kind of save your stuff?
Yeah, the tire wear's terrible. I did a 5 or 6 lap run, and the right front's just shredding on it. So I don't know. Hopefully we do have a long green flag run, because I do like saving tires here. I like this track, so if we can just break away from the draft, I think we'll be good. That's gonna be key.
10-4. I got you. Well, hopefully that draft's going to play a big part tonight, especially with these trucks and how they're running. So we'll see what happens. Looks like you are the pole sitter. Congratulations on the pole. So I'll let you get back down to your team and to your truck and strap in for 60 laps here tonight.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, that was our pole sitter, Justin Michael. A few guys did not take a qualifying lap. The 56 of Dean Clavitt, the 13th of Jamie Lee Dunning, of the 16 of Joey Doucette, the 97 of Kevin Franks, and the 8 of Andrew Hillman, if he's in here, possibly. Let's take a quick look here. Let's see here. Go to our second camera here and get us a good, decent, pretty good angle here and see. I'm trying to pull up Nathan Maurer, but I do not see him currently in the Discord. So let's pull up Joey. He's one of our current winners here. Let's see what he's got to say about the track. Hey, Joey, this is Justin in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got a copy.
All right, looks like you are setting. Looks like you did not set a time tonight. Was that part of your plan?
Yes. I feel I just want to take my time, save my tires, and just move through the field. The track's hot tonight, so it's going to burn up a lot quicker.
Yeah, to mention that, let's bring up our weather while we got Joey up here in the booth with us and take a quick look at it. Our race information for the evening. As Joey said, that track temp is sitting at a blistering 118 degrees. The outside ambient temperature is 80 degrees. So, Joey, is that right front just kind of burning off of it pretty quick?
Yeah, it is. I did a fuel run and it was burning up pretty quick.
10-4. Gotcha. All right. Well, hopefully you'll be able to hang out back and kind of pick your way through the field and stay out of trouble tonight.
Oh yeah, that's my plan. Just try to stay out of trouble.
10-4. Hopefully get you win number 2 for the evening, and I'll let you go back down to your team. Good luck this evening, and hopefully we'll have you up here in the top 3 podium position finishers and get an interview with you.
Oh yeah, buddy.
All right, 10-4.
I hope so too.
Thank you.
Later.
All right, that was the 22 of Joey Doucette. And that number 16 orange Simbox machine. As he said, he is trying to save his tires. Trying to just get to the end of the fuel run. Now remember, our first stage this evening will be and one and only stage tonight. Will be lap 25. 25 will be our stage. Go back up here to our leader, the 87, as we're getting ready to go green. He has the inside lane. Nathan Maurer qualified 4th. Actually, I meant to pull up the qualifying results for you guys, and I did not. There's your qualifying results right there. Oop, let me bring them up one more time for us. There it is right there. There's your top 20 qualifiers. Basically everybody that you need to see, everybody you're going to know. You see the no times down there. So those guys are who qualified. As we get set to go green here, put the field in the hands of the flagman, and we are under green. 60 laps at Pocono. These guys get ready to sell it off down in turn number 1. Nathan Maurer to the inside of the 80 of number 3 Dakota Camper. The 6 is thinking about it. The 3 is going to get a run back on the high side of Nathan as they drag race it down the Long Pond straightaway. Justin Michael sets it off down in the tunnel turn. Dakota Camper pulled back out front of Nathan. Looks like that Long Pond straightaway momentum paid off for the 3 and the 6. Nathan's going to settle back in behind the number 6 as we hit that final turn 3. What turn 4 is out there on the outside of the wall on the safety barrier, as we only have 3 turns here tonight at Pocono. Looks like Dakota Camper's tucked in behind the 87, or Justin Michael, and tries to pull as much draft as he can as they sell it off down in 1. Dustin Madsen back there waiting for one of those guys to either pull side by side. Dakota gets a little bit snug out, tries to let off. He has to let off the gas a little bit. Justin Michael's going to pull back out, but here comes the draft as they tussle back on further in the pack. Looks like the 2, the 11, all those guys are jostling for position as they hit the tunnel turn side by side. Looks like Jamie Lee Dunning is going to be side by side and going to tuck in, dive it down into 3 in front of the 15. Going to hold his line and hopefully get a decent run off there to get a little bit of a run, maybe on that 56 of Dean Clavitt. As we jump back out front, looks like Dakota is giving the push to the 87. Nathan Maurer giving the push to the 6 of Dustin Madsen as they sell it off into 1. Dustin underneath the 87 of Justin Michael as they hit the Long Pond straight. Now it's a drag race between the 87 and the 6 into the tunnel turn. Well, let's see if they decide to go side by side. 87 lets out of it. Dustin Madsen will take the lead. Justin Michael and Dakota Camper will snug in behind him, try to sneak a little bit of that draft to hopefully get a run out of 3. One, 2, 3, 4, 6, 87, 3, 78, all nose to tail through that final turn as they hit the front straightaway. As Justin Michael said in the 87, the draft will be key today. Who can break the draft and get out front early? But I believe these trucks are more momentum based, so that draft is going to play a huge role. And I don't think you're going to see a lot of them break away from it. As our first through 9 all nose to tail down the Long Pond Straight. Dustin Madsen sails it off to tunnel turn 3, gets a little bit tight up to the wall. Everybody else tucks in behind him. Looks like Dustin Madsen will lead lap 5. All still nose to tail coming into turn 3, the Milwaukee Mile 3. You got Matson, Michael, Camper, Maurer, and Mays, Neal, and Hal, all nose to tail. So hit the front straightaway. Dustin Matson will lead lap 6. See if anybody can get a run off of this draft as they sail it off down into 1. Justin Michael thinks about it, decides against it, tucks back up underneath the 6. See if that dirty air plays a key in how these guys run this corner. Looks like the 22 of Bobby Mays got a little tight, sailed it off a little too high, and Doug Neal will get the run underneath him down the Long Pond Straight. Into the tunnel turn, Doug Neal decides to let off the gas and let Bobby Mays have it. Bobby Mays got a little bit of damage there on the right rear. Not sure how he got it. Not sure if he got into somebody or if he tapped the wall as the 78 of Nathan Maurer tucks it up underneath the 3 of Dakota Camper into 3. Dakota Camper gets that big run off of the corner. Got a little bit of help with drafting partner of Bobby Mays in the 87 in front. Looks like Nathan is going to lose that position to the 22. 77 of Doug Neal pulls in behind him, hopefully to give him a little bit of assistance as Doug then pops it out high, going into 1. They kind of fan out. The 3, the 22, and the 78 all fan out, all taking 3 different lanes into 1 as they hit that straightaway, the Long Pond Straight, as I call it, coming to the tunnel turn. All still nose to tail through the tunnel turn. Nathan Maurer got a little bit tight coming out of it. Still gets a good run on Bobby Mays, the 22, tucks it up underneath him into 3. Let's see if he can clear him. Bobby goes really high. See if he's going to pull back a run on the 78. He will, and he will cross him over. Almost cuts off the 77 of Doug Neal, as Nathan Maurer is going to get the position up high. Let's see if he can get enough drafting help to get by. If those two stay side by side, I can see the front 3 running away from him. Bobby Mays sails it down off into 1 underneath Maurer. Maurer's going to give up the position to him. Maurer then tucks in behind the 22, trying to regather himself as they enter the tunnel turn. Nathan decides to take a little bit higher of a lane. Bobby sticks it down on the yellow line. No runs between them. Back out front, Dustin Matson still leads our pack of nose-to-tail trucks for the most part. A7 of Justin Michael bearing down on him, trying to make him make a mistake. Just a reminder, our first stage, they will not throw the caution. That will be lap 25. I'm not sure if they have enough gas to get there, but we're going to find out. I'm going to say they probably can run probably 15 to 20 laps as the 87 Justin Michael runs that turn 1 a little bit higher than what he wanted to, or actually maybe he planned on it, because he got a huge run on Dustin as he is pushing him down off into the tunnel turn. Dustin Matson gets a huge push off of Justin Michael and sails it through the tunnel turn, pulling out to a 0.3 of a second lead. Dustin Matson down on that yellow line in turn 3. Justin Michael running just a bit higher as they all whip it around turn 3 and hit the front straightaway. One, two, three, nose to tail. They kind of fan it out. Dustin Matson taking the low line. Dakota Camper taking the middle. Justin Michael running it a little bit higher, trying to get a good run off of the corner. Possibly get enough momentum to duck up underneath the 6 into the tunnel turn. That will not happen this time. Back here just a smidge further, 78 in the 22 are still nose to tail, swapping positions, trying to figure out who wants that 4th position. 22 runs right on the yellow line, 78 runs a little bit higher, trying to get a little bit more of a run as his teammate, the 77, ducks in nice and tight behind him as a complete lap 10, start of lap 11. So they're going to need a little bit more drafting partner help to get around that 22 as Nathan Maurer runs it in that second lane into 1, which gives him a great run off on the Long Pond straight, and he's able to pull right up to that bumper of the 22. Back up front again between the 6, the 87, and the 3. Those guys are nose to tail. We're just hoping, I guess, to maybe stay nose to tail and run away from the guys behind, but they're slowly picking up the speed. Both the 87 and the 3 running a little bit higher coming out, trying to get as much of a run as they can. Hopefully one of those two can push the other around the 6 and take the lead. Just want to notate that the track has gained temperature since we started this race. It has went from 111 to 125 degrees. So we know that as they run, it gets slicker and slicker. Burn more tire off as the run goes, so we're going to see probably a few loose trucks by the end of this run. Go back up here and check on our number 16 Joey Doucette as he's just now coming around the tunnel turn, as you can see on our track map. He's coming out tunnel turn. Leader is exiting 3 now as Joey just now going into 3. We'll see if that tire saving strategy is going to pay off. As we are on lap 13, I would think he was trying to be, he would be trying to pick his way through the field a little bit quicker now. But it looks like the tire fall off. He may have gotten into the wall a little bit there. It looks like the decals are missing off the right side of that truck. So that could be part of the problem why he's not been moving up through the field. Back out front here. 6, 87, 3, 22, 78, 77 have all stayed and maintained the positions from earlier. All nose to tail. Little bit of a gap between the 3 and the 22 and the 78 and the 77, but that 77 closes that gap pretty quick, going off into 3. As you can see, the gap between 1st through 6th, all 1.2 seconds and less. 27 Jonathan Cogswell will be the start of that next line, or group of cars. 27, 18, 34. Back out front here to our leader, Dustin Madsen, who has gained that lead early in the race and has not let out of it. The 87 he's still got a mirror full of that 87 truck. And we will see as they complete lap 15. Or start at 15, completion of 14. My apologies. Looks like the draft is playing key here. These three are starting to break away from that second pack of the 22, 77, and the 78. All three of these guys are on the same team or in the same Discord channel. That may be part of their strategy. Group up together, break away, and roll away from them. As at 78 of Nathan Maurer has finally gotten around that 22 of Bobby Mays, the 77 will work up underneath the 22 and pass him into the turn 3. As the two Simbox machine teammates are nose to tail now, 5th and 6th. Reminder, our first stage will come at lap 25, that is 9 laps away. Let's see if that 78 and 77 can track down our leaders. 1, 2, 3, 6, 87, 3. Those three have not changed position since early in the race. Back out front here again with them. Dakota Camper almost snapped it into the wall there out of the tunnel turn. See if we can get a good view. We'll back it up a little bit, let you look at that gap between the 3rd and 4th position. As it took Nathan Maurer a minute or two to get around that 22 of Bobby Mays, which has allowed the 27 of Jonathan Cogswell and the 34 of Dylan Clark to close that gap a little bit. Let's see if that plays a difference. Let's see if more cars can hopefully push these guys to the front. So it'll be interesting to see as we close in on possibly pit stops here momentarily in the stage in 8 laps. And there goes my mouse off of its off of its stand. We all have technical difficulties in some form or fashion. As the 78 and the 77 are nose to tail as they sail it off down into the tunnel turn. Turn 3. Alright, as the gap grows between 3rd and 4th now to 2.8 seconds. Looks like the Nathan Maurer and the 77 looks like they had spent too much time behind that 22 of Bobby Mays, so now they are just trying to maintain as much as they can until they get to the pit stops. I said we do not throw the yellow flag for the stage. They will keep it green as long as there's no caution. Currently, we're closing down on maybe 5.5 laps until that stage break. Back up front, Dustin Matson, 80 in the 6, 87 of Justin Michael, and the 3 of Dakota Camper are all still in that same position they had since pretty much the start of the race. Looks like Dustin Matson is taking control of this as he's led the most laps this evening. Let's see who has the fastest time. That will be the actually the 22 of Bobby Mays down there has the fastest time of the evening at 55.584. As green flag pit stops have now begun. You can see these guys on pit road. See him come down pit road and take tires early. We're only 5 laps from the stage. So this will be an interesting play. I think that's about as far as they can go on gas too. So we'll see if the 6, the 87, and the 3 come down this time. Looks like the 6 is going to. 87 and the 3 will stay out. Let's see if the 78 of Nathan Maurer and the 77 of Doug Neal on pit road for 4 tires and gas, or possibly just a splash and go. Looks like a lot of these guys are taking 4 and tires. I don't know. Well, that's right. We don't throw the caution. My apologies. They will have to take 4. 77 and 78 all slided into the pit box. Ooh, looks like the 18 got in his stall a little crooked, so he will lose a little bit more time. We're back up here to our leaders as the 11 is a lap down car getting his lap back now on fresher tires. We'll see if the 87 and the 3 come this time. Looks like they're slowing it up. They are. This will be their green flag pit stops as they try to whoa it up just enough before that line. That was almost too fast for the 87. And now the current leader will be the 6 of Dustin Matson, and that will be your leader. When they come back around, let's see. Oh, we have a caution on the track. Let's see where that came from. Looks like I have found it. Let's see. We'll get here from the blimp. Looks like it's the 57 or 56 of Dean Clavitt. That's going to be our first caution of the evening as we will ride along here and slow it down for you. Whoops, a little too slow. Looks like he just got it a little bit loose. Almost clipped the 97, missed him into 1. And when he got down on that apron and possibly touched the grass right there, that's all she wrote, that she was going to come on around, and she did. A lot of these guys just pitted. Playing full speed. How's he even? He saved it maybe. Oh, just a little bit of left front damage. So you can see he's got a little bit of right damage too. Not a big deal. He should be able to get some of that fixed. They do have a fast repair, so they will be able to fix it. Let's jump back out live here into our lead, 87 Justin Michael. Let's see if these guys can, see if they decide to pit. Back it up here far enough to where we can get a better idea of who decides to come down and take tires. If it were me, if I wasn't in the top 4 or 5, I'd be taking tires. But track position's key. Some of them will. Oh, looks like we'll have the top 7 stay out. Dylan Clark will be the first taker. Jamie Lee Dunning and Christopher Howell stay out to round out the top 10. Our free pass guy is going to be the 25 of Todd Mays. He is our Lucky Dog award winner on lap 23. So he'll come around, probably pit, take tires, come back out, start at the tail end of the line. Well, while we sit here and take a moment, the stage is the completion of lap 25. So we're at 23. They have not received the 2 to go. So we're going to have a 1 lap shootout basically for the stage, but we will remain green. We just got to get to the completion of lap 25. Completion of 23, 24 right here. So this is lap 24, 1 to green. What'll happen is they'll come around and take lap 25, but they'll have to run 1 more lap for the completion of the stage. As these guys should start doubling it up here. Maybe some of you guys didn't get the memo on the back to double it up, but this is again, this is a long 2.5 mile track, so it'll take them a minute to get around and take the green here. I want to say the SERL is a beginning stages league, and we have a Sunday night Cup series that starts at 7:30 practice, 8:30 green flag, that follows the Cup schedule almost tick for tack. And then the truck series is a little bit shorter, kind of our development type of series. I mean, it's not really we don't want to call these guys development type drivers, but we kind of want these guys to run in the truck series, kind of get their feet wet before they come over to the Cup. So if you guys are interested, come on in, give Dakota Camper, Jamie Lee Dunning your information, and they'll get you hooked up and signed up. As we put the field back in the hands of the 87, as he is already back on the loud pedal, as we are back under green. Gets out to a good jump. The 78 is giving Dustin Madsen a huge push down the front straightaway. Dakota Camper underneath him. See if these guys push hard here to hopefully get as max stage points as possible, as the 78 is going to pull up in front of the 6 of Dustin Madsen, who was in clear command of this race from the start. Has now been mired back in 4th position. 78 of Nathan Maurer, huge run into the tunnel turn. Pulls up a little bit closer to Dakota Camper, but not enough. Let's see where these stage points come out. 87 of Justin Michael off into 3 as he comes around. He will be the stage winner. There's your stage winner, Justin Michael. Second place, second place, Dakota Camper. 3rd, Nathan Maurer. 4th, Dustin Madsen. 5th, Doug Neal. 6th, Jonathan Cogswell. 7th, Bobby Mays. 8th, Christopher Howell. 9th, Jamie Lee Dunning. And rounding out your top 10, Dylan Clark. As 87, Justin Michael gets out to almost a second lead over Dakota Camper, quickly pulling away. He is trying, as he mentioned earlier in the broadcast, he is trying to break that draft as much as possible, and he is close to doing it. If he can break the draft over Dakota Camber, we'll back it up and let the Blint take a look and see the difference. That is almost 1 second. That's where you need to be for the air to start feeling different. And now it is up to 1 second. But closes back down to 0.8 of a second. Going to maybe hopefully extend back out. Dakota's about to lose touch on the 87. It's going to make it, going to make it a little bit tougher to catch back up to him. He may have just set sail. As second, third, fourth, and fifth are basically spread apart about 2 or 3 cars apiece. As they round through turn 3, what turn 4, as Pocono says on the outside wall. But while these guys go green and we're at the halfway point, I like to do one of my favorite segments. Gives me a second to take a breath, catch my thoughts up. I want you guys to reach over, grab that volume knob and throttle up the volume. coming back from our throttle up the volume as the 6 and the 78 get into the wall. Looks like the 78 did a little bit of shadow driving, and he has paid the price. Looks like there's tons of damage on the right side of that car as the 27 of Jonathan Cogswell gets around him. The 77 does too. I feel horrible for Nate because I know that is a ton of damage on that truck. Luckily for him, and they'll be closing in on green flag pit stops here in the next few laps, but he is hoping for a caution as he's watching the potential win slip from his fingers. Back out front, we were talking about it earlier in the broadcast, the 87 of Justin Michael. He was talking about breaking the draft, getting out of the draft, getting away from those guys. He's done it. 2.5 seconds over the 3 of Dakota Camper. And I have watched this lead continue to grow. He just now has to make no mistakes, and he can pretty much pit one more time and possibly make it to the end. I'm pretty sure he should be able to. Yeah, these guys were pitting on lap 20, so they can get 20 laps a run. They're on lap 13 of this run. They need 7 more, which will put it down to 20 to go. It'll be close. Of course, they did have a few caution laps, so they'll probably have enough gas to get to the end. We're going to check on the 3 Dakota Camper. He is 2.7 seconds back of our race leader. Behind him will be the 6 of Dustin Matson, who led most of this race early. Caution came out after he'd pitted, put the lead back into the hands of the 87 of Justin Michael, as we have a wreck happening. There is your caution that Nathan was looking for. There it is right there. There's our wreck right there. It looks like between the 20 and the 2. Let's pause it and take a look and go back. Take a quick look at it. All right, back to it here. Here's our replay. I'll slow it down for you, as it looks like the 2 is behind the 22. They come through that final turn 3. 20 gets a huge run. The 20 is going to bounce it off the wall and turn down right in front of the 20, collect him, and they are then spinning around and around we go. That will be our number 2 caution of the evening. During this caution, I'd like to thank our sponsor, Tony Smith. Appreciate him coming on board and sponsoring the Truck Series for its first inaugural season. He is not in the field tonight, but we want to say thank you to him and greatly appreciate him coming over and sponsoring the Truck Series as these guys get ready to come down and pit. Let's see who comes and goes, because we definitely know they cannot make it from here. So the question is, do you stay out 5 laps? Run it as hard as you can for 5 laps. Pit. Lose a bunch of time. Because everybody else probably will have fresh tires when they do come, or when they do pit. Let's see what happens here. This is going to be interesting to see who stays, who choosers and pickers are. A7 fakes it out. Everybody else follows in behind. Looks like we will have nobody staying out. So we definitely know that they cannot make it to the end. They definitely cannot make it. So unless somebody decides to stretch the field an extra 3 or 4 laps. Well, possibly 2 or 3 laps. That's a long stretch. We're going to see what happens here. 87 Nathan Maurer has used his fast repair. A wise choice to use it now because this may be our last caution of the evening. Looks like Kevin Franks got off first. 1, 2, 3, 4. Looks like it's going to be off pit road. 87, 3, 6, 78, 77. There is your top 5 off pit road. And while we have a brief caution, let's bring up. Let's see if I can find Mr. Nathan here, Mr. Maurer. See if I can bring him up for me. I like to let him have a word in about that caution in his wreck. Can't seem to locate him though. It's okay, we will. Looks like Nathan Maurer is gonna. Ooh, we got a couple of guys coming back down pit road. 87, 3, 78, 77. Looks like these guys are coming back down one more time here to top it off with gas. Probably a smart move. This will probably be, as the 3 looks like he overshot his pit box a little bit. As this will probably be one of the moves of the race. Dustin Madsen will jump back out to that top position as we are 1 to green. Here we go, the 6 of Dustin Madsen. He will get out to a good jump. I'm not sure what happened on the restart. 27 of Jonathan Cogswell, they're in behind him. 18 of Christopher House. Some of these guys have not been off run all night. And they're taking, ooh, as the 18 hits the 34, going into 1 a little bit. Washes up the track, tags his rear bumper. Computer's doing, my apologies. There we are. There's your leader, Dustin Madsen, as he enters turn 3. 27, Jonathan Cogswell in tow. Not sure what happened to my camera number 2. It is not wanting to work correctly. Losing some of my angles here. Alright, as they sell it off down into 1. 27 Jonathan Cogswell in tow. Back it up here and take a look at the blimp. Get a further view of these guys as they race hard. For these final positions. Jonathan Cogswell ducks it high of the 6. Going to give him a challenge for the lead as they cross the start-finish line. 20 laps to go. Sailed off down into 127 up high. Is he going to get the run off the corner down the long pond straight and possibly take the lead here? He has the position. He has the run. Well, let's see if he can get it out far enough in front of him. They touch a little bit as they go down into the tunnel turn. 6 still had the position. 27 had to pull it high. As the 34 closes in on the 27's back bumper. Apologize, folks. I've got to figure out what is going on with my... There we go. Number 2 camera, it seems it's lost its angle. I do not know why it's done that. Trying to get you guys the best shots I possibly can of this race. Back it up a little bit, let you guys take a quick look at the top 4 as they run down the long pond straightaway. Dustin Madsen back out front where he thinks knows he should be in the race. He was there most of the early parts. Let's see if he can hold it there as we get ready to come to 18 laps to go in this race. Justin Michael had the position on him after that first caution in the pit stops. Now Justin Michael mired back in traffic, sitting back there in P6. Let's see who can get to the end. We know he may have enough gas to get to the end. Nathan Maurer in the 78, he's probably saving quite a bit. And he has dropped way back in the field. Let's take a quick look, see if he's got any damage on that truck. He does not. So we definitely know he's in full save mode, as is the 77 of Doug Neal. He is fully in save mode, trying to save as much fuel as they can to get to the end. Pretty good shot right there as they enter the tunnel turn. Back out front though, Dustin Madsen holding on to the lead, 27-34, right on his heels. Let's see if they can sort it out. We know these guys are going as hard as they can. They're probably hoping for a late caution. They get a late caution, they can come down and take... Everybody will probably pit again to get tires and fuel unless they've run out of tires. Dustin Madsen off into turn 1, 27 tucked in right in behind as they go through the final, as they come out of the exit of turn 1, 34 in tow, nose to tail, 1, 2, 3. The 18 Christopher Howe is back there lurking, waiting, hoping for something to happen between the top 3 positions. 97 to Kevin Franks. He's not been talked about all night. He is holding down the 5th position as A7. Oops, sorry, wrong way we're going. A7 to Justin Michael is closing in on his bumper quickly. We all know dirty air plays a key role. Let's see how much of it's going to play now as we get down to the end, especially with him, Justin Michael, not making up any position since the restart. We will see how much that dirty air plays effect on the end of this race. 78, 77, both way back, 21 seconds back. Pretty sure they're saving fuel, hardcore save, knowing if they save just enough they can get to the end. So it'll be interesting to see if they can do it. We definitely know that 20 laps is probably as far as you can go. 2.5 miles though is a long way around this track, so if you're 19 and a half, think you got 19 and a half laps, that's pretty much cutting it really close. So we will see what happens here as the jump back out front. The 6, the 27 and the 34 have all stayed the same position they have been all the way back to 6th and 7th. Like I said, Justin Michael and Dakota Camper out front here, middle part to 3/4 way through this race. Now they are mired back in traffic in the dirty air and not making their way to the front. So we're going to see if these guys are just trying to hang on to the tail end of this main type of pack and saving maybe not as much as Doug Neal and Nathan Maurer, but we will see. Jumping back up front to Dustin Madsen in the 6. He is pulled away from Jonathan Cogswell. Goes down to 12 laps to go. Well, let's see if these guys can have enough fuel to get to the end. Haven't talked a lot about Joey Doucette in the 16. He's back here, 12 laps to go. He may be saving quite a bit of fuel. Then again, he might not. We'll have to see. You can tell he's got a little bit of left rear damage on that truck. Got that spoiler jacked up in the air. See if it makes a difference on the handle of his truck. Back up front, nothing's changed. 6, 27, 34. 6 out to a half-second lead over second place, 27 of Jonathan Cogswell. Looks like Justin Michael was able to get around Kevin Franks and Dakota Camper as well. As those guys have now are holding down 5th and 6th position as they round out through the tunnel turn. Looks like we have our first taker in pit road. 6, Dustin Madsen finally decided, okay, I can't make it. I need to pit now. Pit now, pit now, pit now. As he will be the first taker on pit road. Looks like the 77 and the 78, they kind of got separated out a little bit. Let's kind of back it up here and see what happened real quick. Maybe the 78 thought about taking and hitting pit road and then decided against it. Let's bring it back forward. Nope, maybe not. I'm not sure what happened. We'll just have to figure out and see what happens. Is Jonathan Cogswell was going to take over the first position, but let's back it up and take a look and see what happened between him. Ooh, as he got high into 3 and 4, we'll back. Oh, that's too far. We'll hit 3. And he got too high and allowed the 18 and the 20, 1834 to get around him and take the lead positions from him. We'll come back live here and look at the 87 and the 3. Those two are sitting 4th and 5th. We're currently at the moment. As they enter turn 3, those two pitted 15 laps to go. Let's see if they've got enough to make it to the end. Pretty sure the 34, 18, 27 do not, as the 6 of Jonathan Cogswell had to pit already. We'll see how this plays out. See who has enough gas to make it and who doesn't. Definitely got a nail biter on our hands. .34, Dylan Clark, our leader. We close down on 6 laps to go, this time by the start stripe. See who has enough gas to make it to the end and who doesn't. Looks like the 87 of Justin Michael and Dakota Camper have let off a little bit, trying to save a little bit of fuel. We definitely know that it's going to be cutting it short, really short. two are drafting pretty hard right now currently. Let's see if they have enough. I just went down through some of and talking to some of the crew chiefs, and they're telling me they're short. They are way short. This will be interesting to see how this works out. I'm talking to the 87 crew chief. He said we're close. We're not sure. We don't know. The 3 was the same. He said if we do make it, it'll be close. Talking to the 13 of Joey Doucette. Right here. Nope, that's the wrong one. 16 of Joey Doucette. Right there he is. All the way right there. Talking to his crew chief. He said he has enough to make it. So, Joey is 13 seconds back. The 34 of Dylan Clark hit pit road. Now he is behind Joey. But how far behind Joey is the question? Well, there's the 34 entering the tunnel turn now. 16 of Joey's set out of turn 3. Joey and Dean both have enough to make it. Talking to their crew chiefs. They're telling me they've been saving hard the start of this run. Now we're down to 3 to go. You can hear them both clutch it. Hoping the guys in front don't have enough. Justin Michael, Dakota Camper, their crew chiefs telling me no way, possible, maybe is the 3 responses I've received. The 97, not quite sure. He did not pit again with 1 to go. We probably know he does not have enough. 27, Jonathan Cogswell, as we know. Now hitting pit road. 18, Christopher Howe doesn't have enough, hitting pit road now. Puts the lead back in the hands of Justin Michael. 2 laps to go. 87-3 pitted with 1 to go. 97 did not. Did he clutch it enough? Did he save enough? We're going to find out. 16, as we talked about. He has been clutching it the entire time, this entire run. Now he pulls in behind the 56 of Dean. Actually, he pulls back out side by side of the 56. Interesting strategy here. 56 will let him go. Let's get a little bit closer, see if we can hear. Let's get in the cockpit as they enter turn 3. Let's see if he clutches it here in 3. He does not. But oh, and there is our late race caution that we did not need. That was the 6 of Dustin Madsen. Let's back it up. Take a quick look. What happened? Oh wow, let's get back over here so we can take a quick look. Get the chopper here. The 6, 25. 6 thought he had him cleared. Yep, 25 got into his rear bumper, spun him around. And there's the 6 leading most of this race. Heartbreak for the 6. Puts the field back inside the hands of the 87. Joey just said had enough to make it. Crew chief said he did. Now Joey's got to change hats and put on drive fast. Hit pit road and drive fast. Top 3, 87, 3, 97. Looks like the 97. I'm not sure what happened to him. Looks like he may have. I'm not sure what happened to him. Looks like he may have spun it around anyways. Anyways, on pit road now. Late race caution, changing everything. A lot of these guys are now probably steaming mad, upset, because they knew they had enough to get to the end. '87 first, 3 second. Dakota Camper the third one. Off pit road. Following behind him. Trying to figure out who that is. The 16, Joey Doucette. Third will be the... Nope, sorry, not Joey Doucette. Let's see here. 18, sorry, 18. No, no way, hang on, those guys stayed out. Let's see here. The 18 will be your leader. I mean, the 6 will be your leader. It looks like maybe. Is he laps down? No, he stayed out. Even though he wrecked, looks like he'll stay out. Well, let's let it cycle through and see what these guys do before I declare who your leader exactly is. Because I'm not 100% sure. They cycle through. 18, 87, 3, 56, 77, 78. Your top 6. Joey Doucette 7th. Todd Mays 8th. 9th will be Dylan Clark. 10th will be Jonathan Cogswell. There's your leader, the 18. Not been out front a lot of this race. Let's see if he can possibly sneak out a win here, if he can get out front of that 87 and put the dirty air on the front of his nose. I think he might have a fighting chance of winning this race. Hey Joey, this is Justin up in the booth. I know you are pretty upset at the moment. You talked to your crew chief. He said you had enough. Yep. Got that late race caution. I guess it's time to put the afterburners on and get to the front quick, correct?
Correct. I'm going to try the best I can. I got Doug and Nate that took 2 tires, so hopefully I can get around them quick and go win the race.
10-4. Dean, looks like you're hanging out there in front of those two. Well, those two have only 2 right sides, so looks like it's time for you to put the afterburners on too. Good luck, you two.
Thank you.
Thank you.
As you heard it directly from the driver himself. 2 in front only took 2. He took 4. It's time to put the afterburners on and get to the front. Right now, he's got to get through a mire of vehicles to get there, though. Going to put the field in the hands of 18. As he did not go. We've got some review here to do. I don't think he ever hit the gas pedal. Or maybe he did. We'll see how it shakes out. Actually, let's just copy it. We'll go back and take a look at it at the end of the race unless they decide to change it. 87 of Justin Michael out front. Dean Clavitt in his footsteps, one by one. He is literally in his tire tracks, hoping to get a little bit of maybe a little bit of a mistake from the 87, which is hard to find. We'll see what happens here. 87, 56, 3, 78, 77, your top 5. We are now white flag, this time white flag. Final lap here at Pocono. Doug Neal and Joey Doucette, those guys are battling hard. 2 tires versus 4. Doug's going to get the position. As we come down to the green flag, here will be your race winner as he comes out of turn 3. The 87. Justin Michael, your repeat winner here in the SERL Truck Series. Second, Dean Clavitt. Third, Dakota Camper. Fourth, Nathan Maurer. Fifth, Christopher House. Sixth, Doug Neal. Seventh, Jonathan Cogswell. Eighth, Dylan Clark. Ninth, Matt Rudder. 10th, Todd Mays. Work on getting our top 3 into the booth or into our waiting room. Second place Dean. Third place Dakota. Third place Dakota, and the winner 87 Justin Michael. Let's put these guys in the waiting room, and as we gather them up, we'll be right back. Alright, let's bring up our third place finisher, Dakota Camper. Hey, Dakota, this is Justin up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Alright, well, good third place run there. Looks like you had to battle and get a late race caution to hopefully, close it out for a third place finish. I know you guys said, I talked to your crew chief there before that caution, and you guys were cutting it close on fuel. Looks like that caution kind of played into your favor, and you were able to squeak out of third place.
No, the caution definitely hurt. I was a half a lap to the good. I don't know how far along he was, but I was going to make it. And we started pushing really hard. We were going to running out of gas coming to the line. I know that. But that restart was hectic at the end, going 3 wide, and I'm just glad we all made it through.
10-4, yeah, you guys. That was definitely one heck of a restart there. So I think your third or fourth top 3 this season. I'll have to double check the books to make sure. But you're definitely running towards the top. Definitely, I think you're sitting second in the points. But definitely didn't see that 87 win. He just extended his lead a little bit more. So looks like you got a long road ahead of you for the season championship. So good job there on P3. And I'm gonna need to ask you if you got anybody you want to give a shout out to.
Yeah, Justin, he's a tough one, no doubt. It's kind of, I just was doing whatever strategy that he did. But yeah, I'd like to thank Unchained Motorcycle Ministry. We got a big event coming up August 7th in Abingdon. So I'd like to invite anybody to that, 4-H Center in Abingdon. And just want to thank you for broadcasting, Jamie and Bill for being a part of this league, and also Logan Hagerman being race control. He does a great job. And it's been fun, and hopefully we can keep racking up top fives. I think I got the most, so we just need the 87 to have some bad luck.
10-4. Well, luck does play a role sometimes in winning that championship. Good job on P3, and we'll see you back here next week for 100 laps at Kansas. That'll definitely be a nail biter running that top line right against the wall. So good job on P3, and we'll see you next week.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you. That was our third place finisher, Dakota Camper. Let's bring up the 56 of Dean Clavitt. I don't have a good photo. Let's back it up and see if we can find a good, clean photo of him. There he is, right there. There's his truck. All right. Hey, Dean, this is Justin up in the booth. You got a copy?
I gotcha.
10-4. Well, I kind of jumped down in your channel there for a minute. They're coming to the green, telling you it was time to put the go on, or the afterburners, and you did coming out with a P2 finish. Didn't talk about you a lot during the race. You kind of were just hanging mid pack, and then you were able to close, do what Kevin Harvick does, close it down quickly, and jump up to P2 with that last caution.
I was just thinking that too on that last restart. I'm like, man, I was running about maybe 12th, 13th the whole night, and here I am running second.
Yep, and your truck is really clean. I don't know if you used your fast repair or not, but
oh, I did.
Oh, you did. 10-4. Well, hey, sometimes that fast repair comes in handy. I know this is, I think, the first time we've had you up here in the booth, if I remember correctly.
I was here last week.
Oh, last week. Well, you got to remember, I've slept 7-8 times since then. So I mean, you're stringing together some good finishes then, obviously, to get here, here towards the end of the season. Well, hopefully the points will start adding up quick, and you'll end up here towards the front, battling that 87. I know he's a tough guy to beat right now.
Yeah, he's probably the fastest truck out there, honestly, and it's gonna be hard beating him. But anything can happen in the playoffs. I was just surprised to even be up there. So. Yeah, it was a crazy race. I gotta say sorry to Joey for rear-ending him on pit road by accident. So that's what really did me in for my fast repair. I rear-ended the 11 off 3 when he was checking up by accident, and I apologize to him too if anything happened there. But I just hate that caution came out at the end. I had enough fuel to make it, so it was gonna be a good finish. But hey, this was good too, and. Congrats to Justin for winning, and hopefully we can get on top 2 next week.
10-4, good job. I think you gave your shout out. I think I was going to ask you if you got anybody else you wanted to give it a shout out to, but it sounds like you may have already done it, unless you got somebody else in mind.
Just got a shout out to Chris Pendle. He obviously couldn't make the race tonight, so just shout out to him, and hopefully he's enjoying his alone time with his wife.
10-4, I got you. 10-4. All right, well. Good job on P2, and like I said, good job of finish last week, and hopefully we'll see you back here for next week at Kansas for 100 laps at Kansas.
10-4, man. Thanks, Justin.
Thank you. There was your second place finisher, Dean Clavitt. Now we're going to jump to our race winner, Justin Michael. Justin, this is Justin up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, this looks like to be a recurring role for us, having you up here in the top spot for the week. You're able to finally, I would say finally close the deal, but you already did it. This will be your, I think, 5th or 6th win on the season.
Yeah, it's definitely been a good run so far, and hopefully keep the momentum going for the playoffs. And was a good run tonight. We I don't know if it would have went green there. What would have happened? I might have ran out at the line, maybe just before. I'm not sure. I'm kind of mad. I wanted to see what would have happened.
Yeah, I was definitely wanting to see what happened. I talked to your crew chief, and he said that you were. I got 3 responses from him. Maybe, I don't know. No, I guess. And it was what he told me. So it was definitely a nail biter. I know that Joey Doucette said he had enough. His crew chief said he had enough. I think the 3 Dakota campers said he was half a lap to the good. So I was hoping that caution didn't come out, because it was definitely going to be interesting there when we got to the end.
Yeah, there was one lap, I don't remember where it was, that I pushed really hard trying to catch, I don't know, like the 4th or 5th place guy, because I wanted to be closer for the draft to save more. So I don't know if that was what hurt me in the end, but I might have, if I wouldn't have did that, it might have been okay. I don't know. I just started letting them off and letting them go at that point. So.
Gotcha. Yep. They're on that last restart. It looks like the 18s. Did he start to go and then just spun his tires? Is that what gave you the lead?
I don't know. I don't think he spun his tires. I don't think he was expecting it to come out green that quick. He said he was nervous. I remember him saying so. He didn't think he had enough gas. And he told us how much he had. I was like, you got plenty. So I don't know. I think it was a little nerves because he wasn't. I don't know if he knew what to expect there. He thinks he was going to run out of gas, and I really think he would have been fine.
10-4, I got you. Yeah, we thought you jumped, and I was like, oh, here we're going to see how the penalties lay out here. Hopefully, he won't catch a black flag for starting too quickly, but jumping out in front of the leader. But hey, when the green flag comes out, that's when it is everybody's free chance or right to get it back on the gas and get after it, and you were able to capitalize on his nervousness or lack of being up front. So like I said, got to be there to at the end be right on top of it, and you were definitely there and got your 5th or 6th win. I'll have to double check the record and see. Good job. Anybody else you want to give a shout out to?
Just everyone out there watching. Hopefully it was a good race, and looks like we tried to get some green flag pit stops in too, so that was good. And Dakota for putting on a good leg, and you for always calling a good race, so we definitely appreciate it.
Yeah, I try. It's definitely hard up here by yourself, so definitely got some bloopers that are in the highlight reel for the evening for me dropping my mouse or doing something else. So, but good job on the win, and hopefully, actually, I'm going to expect to see you back up here next week on the podium position, 1, 2, or 3.
Well, I don't even know where next week is right now. We'll have to
Kansas.
go look and see what happens. Kansas is a good track until that high line comes in, and it's a draft lock. So
that's it.
We'll have to get out front early.
10-4. All right, good job, and good job on the finish, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks, sir.
All right, that right there was our winner, the 87 of Justin Michael. Let's take a quick look at our points for. Actually, no. Let's look at our results real quick for the race. There's our results. See if I can pull it back up correctly here. I got a little bit off here. All right, so first Justin Michael, second Dean Clavitt, third Dakota Camper, fourth Nathan Maurer, fifth Christopher Howe. Christopher Pendle was actually out. Sixth Doug Neal, seventh Jonathan Cogswell, eighth Dylan Clark, ninth Matt Rudder, and 10th Todd Mays. Well, that's your top 10 for the evening. Before we round out too far, let's take a quick look at the points before we came into tonight. These are the points before. I'll let you guys do the math on looking at the stage points and the winner points and finish points. Justin Michael extending his lead a bit more. Blake Giglio not here, but we'll see what happens and see how much these guys can close in on Justin. Looks like he's just extending that lead even further. So next week we're at Kansas. We'll go live roughly around 9:15, and green flag will drop roughly about 9:40 after 10 minutes of qualifying. We hope to see you guys back here next week. And this is Justin White signing off for the evening, just to remind you to stay on that lead lap.